This is the power of this plugin, is that you can, so this is very useful and I use this a lot. You can see how you have spent all of your time. And I'm using this in my own workflows to see which, so this way you can customize it however you want. And it's very cool for tracking and evaluation. Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of Prisma Calendar plugin deep dive. In this video I will show additional features and improve the explanation and show additional parts of the plugin that we omitted in the first part. So the first thing we can talk about is installation, and basically I encourage you to use Brad because that's the simplest way, where here you will just include the GitHub repository URL and it installs everything for you. You also get automatic updates, and as was mentioned in the previous video, currently we are awaiting the Obsidian store approval, so once that is there you can just easily download it through community plugins, but not yet. Hopefully soon. So now let's talk about further features of the plugin. The first interesting thing is notifications, where how it works is you define, first of all you have to enable notifications, then you can set up default whether you want to get notified about events by default, and then there is a property called minutes before, which means that for the node's front meter we are going to notify you when that value is triggered. So for example, if I said here new node and I specify minutes before to 15, we are going to be notified 15 minutes before. By default it will be 1. And if this was 0 and minutes before is not set here, nothing, it wouldn't get notified. And the same thing works here so this is for timed events, which means events that are here and all the events are here. So it's a separate button for if you want to get notified a day up front or however many days you want for all the events, and also again property to override this. So this way you can customize it however you want, because you can have a default and then override it. Then there is the already notified property, which I'm going to get to now. You can customize this, as this is the power of this plugin, is that you can easily configure all of the properties to your liking. So again, a notification sound and then snooze duration. So the way it works now is I have moved it here, so now it is 15 minutes before, as you can see. It's 15 minutes before, and we get notified here that in 6 minutes it's going to happen. So here I can snooze the event or just open it. So if we snooze the event, you can see that minutes before got moved by the current time minus 16. So we are going to get notified again in 15 minutes about this event. That's what snoozing does, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory. So you can set up how many minutes you want to snooze the event by, and if we didn't snooze, so let's say new event. So for this new event, it has to be, we don't get notified because the default setting is 1. But if I move it here, we get notified. Now I dismiss it, we are done. What now happens is that new front meter property has been assigned here called already notified, which is configurable here, and this means that for this event we have already notified you, you won't get notified again. If I untoggle it, we get notified again and again. So this way, if you restart the plugin or the Obsidian as a whole and you come back, you don't get notified twice for the event. And if you want to, you can toggle it off, and again back and forth. Another thing I would like to talk about is filterable presets. So you can either filter by colors, as we already showcased. Then there is a global filtering expression that is applied to all nodes. So we select the expression into, so we for example hit done and we only see done events. And so let's disable it for now. So here we can configure filter presets. So this is for quick configurable events. So for example, I have all of my events here, and I want to see, okay, so which of these are done actually. Cool. You also get a filtering module. You can search it and it shows you all of the events that we filtered out. So this is very useful and I use this a lot. So we can specify whatever filtering rules we have and they just get pre-filled. So they get written here and you can obviously manually write this. We also support searching here based on the name. It also shows the filtered event, so you can combine both actually. So node and not done, nothing. Done, one node. We also support zoom configuration here, how precise you want it. And you can also do this with middle mouse button scrolling. And so this is all configurable here in the settings. Next thing I want to show are statistics. And you can see here that we have a category property here, and I'm going to get to that again, configurable. So the way this works is you can assign category property to an event. Health. Yeah, so and now we can see the statistics. So what this shows is a pie chart, and you can toggle it between event name or categories. So no category, health and money, and you get both a table and a pie chart, and you can play around with it. And you can navigate with either keyboard shortcuts or manually to the next, and you can just see how you spend your time. So this is very useful for tracking and evaluation of how you are spending your time, because you can see, okay, so in my week I'm assigning this amount of time to these activities. This normalizes the recurring events. So you can see we have here new weekly recurring a lot, but it's only done once because it's normalized. So it's done smartly and it understands recurring events. So if you just name your events the same way, they are going to get assigned. So if you are lazy to use categories, you can do this as well. And so this is for weekly. We then also support show monthly. Same thing, absolutely, but it's full month. Pretty self-explanatory. And then we have global statistics. All time. Okay, we name it all time. You can see how you have spent all of your time, which is pretty cool. It also shows you how many events you have, how much time in total it have taken. Again, this database or table, and it's very cool for tracking and evaluation. You can also hide the chart. Last thing I want to show is the global search events. So you can either search here, but this works only for the weekly interval. But if you use the global event search, you can see all of your tasks here, first of all. You can search by their names, so you can see which days I have went to the gym, right? And you can filter it to only show recurring events or to skip recurring events. So let's say I have this entry here, and you can navigate there, and it's going to also highlight that event for you. This is also a shortcut that you can use. Here you can trigger it like this. It's the same thing. So what this does is that it opens you that node in that given weekly interval and highlights it for you. So if you are trying to, basically you have some node open here. Maybe you open the node through here and you have no idea where it fits in your calendar. This is very useful for clarity because you can immediately open it and see it in the broader context. And then you can use the search model, the global one, to find this as well. So another thing I can show you is that we have this option to mark past events as done. And as you may have noticed, then all of these are marked done. So status is done, even though previously they were generated from a recurring event source that is next up. So we don't mark the source recurring events as done because then the new events would also inherit the done property. But the physical events generated are now done because we have selected this option. And so it configures which status property and which event to put there. So it just puts there done. And I'm using this in my own workflows to see which events I have done. Again, whenever the event goes into the past, we are going to mark it as done. Depends on your workflow, but I use this. Otherwise, I track through the Obsidian basis which nodes I have done. So I would have to mark it manually then. But this is just a effortless way to do it. And then you can just go and see which events you have done. Lastly, let me talk about the current state of Prisma Calendar development. I am working on the final polished production ready release, basically just cleaning up some smaller bugs, but mostly improving the visual layout and making sure that this plugin is at the best condition and shape and that everything feels smooth for the users. The plugin is already fully production ready, so feel free to download it and use it and experiment with it. And if you like it, I would really appreciate your feedback and sharing it with others to help the project grow. And if you encounter any bugs, please don't hesitate to open an issue on GitHub. I read everything and I'll do my best to fix it quickly. The whole idea here is to improve the plugin through trial and error and real-world use cases so that it becomes the best plugin on the Obsidian market. Thank you for watching, and also thank you for the support, and I will see you at the next video.